Okay, we have the chair. Everybody has their chair by their side. Welcome. We're going to do today. I'm Ron. This is Ageless Balance. We are going to do standing and seated lower body strength. No weights. We will just use movement, body weight, and then we will get some bands involved. Bands will be for the seated exercise only. The mini resistance bands is all you need. Start out with just this right here. Warming up the lower body first because we're going to be using it. Opposite arm, opposite leg. I didn't have that going. I do now. Up and up. So much coordination involved in this. I can't handle it. Up. Take your time. Make sure those knees, toes, arms, hips, eyes, everything right straight forward. Shoulders pointing out. Feet stay right straight in line with the legs. Up and up. And we're going to go into just a little bit of a squat. Hands on the thighs. Pushing the butt back. Knees come forward just a tad. Just a tad. Shoulder blades stay back. Roll the hips. Bring it up. Let's bring it into an air squat. Get the hands up on the sides. Bring them back. Your weight is now in the back half of the foot. Roll the hips up. It's coming to a stand. So you're putting all the weight from the ball of the foot to the heel. As you come down and as you come up, I've actually got the toes off the ground so that I don't put any pressure into the toes, which is going to come right up through the middle of that kneecap, right in the front, because that's not where it's supposed to be. Big muscles are in the legs, upper legs, thighs, hamstrings, and glutes, and push up. So that's what we use. One more time. Down, 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 roll, and up into a high knee. Again, tell you what, hang on to the back of your chair. I want you to get that knee up as high as you can. Coming off the ball of the foot, coming off the heel, up and up. If you don't need to hold on to the chair, that's perfect. If you do, that's what you need. Do it. Be safe. Be safe, not sorry. Better safe than sorry. And up and up. Goes slow as you want. You can bring it up here nice and slow and take it back down. The longer you're on that single leg, the harder it is. Up and up. But I want you to get those hips moving, knees moving, work those hip flexors to lift the leg up. And we are good. Step out to the side and back, other side. Step it and bring it back. Take the arm out with it. Push and bring it in. Other side out and in, out. And in, take that hand, rotate. Feel that joint working in there. Lots of flexibility as you rotate that hand. All kinds of movement. Getting those muscles warmed up, getting them stretched out a little bit, getting that fluid into that joint. Push and back in, out, and in. One more time each side. Take it out, bring it in, and right there, out front. Doing a forward lunge. Pick the foot up on the heel to the ball of the foot. Pick it up, front of the foot first, using that back leg to hold you up while you bring that foot back. So you're not pushing off the front foot. Again, not into the toes. Out, toes come up first, and then the heel. Down and back up. Front leg does not go any farther than that ankle. So you don't want it going out past that. The minute you do, you're going to feel all the weight in the toes. And we know where that goes. Through the meniscus, through the front of that kneecap. It's not made for that. Not at all. Bring it back. Out and back. Out and back. Getting those muscles working because we're going to do this. We're going to do this with bands later. Out and back in. Hang on to your chair. Hold on to your chairs. Mountain climbers. Up. As you bring the leg up, bring the arm down. So it's squeeze. And push out. Stay on that same side. Get that knee up as high as you can. Bring the arms down. Crunching the core. So you got a little bit of a hip roll in here. As you come up, hips roll forward. Shoulders come down just a little bit. Full exhale. Tighten up those core muscles. Driving all the air out of the lungs and push back up. Down and up. Knee and elbow. Do not have to touch. You bring that leg up as high as is right for you. As high as you can get it. Without losing your form. Knee, hip, toe, all stay in alignment with that shoulder, hand up and back out. Squeeze it. Should feel this in the lower abs. From the belly button down to the hips. 3, 2, 1. Go to the other side. Arm up and bring that leg up. So we're working the hip here, working the hip flexor. As we come up, we're working those lower abs, upper abs, shoulders, all the muscles in the arm as well. Tightening up that hand, making a fist, feeling that forearm work. Exhale. Out and in tight. Exhale through the mouth. You're doing it by tightening those core muscles up. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're there. Side to side walking. Hold on to the chair if you need it. If you do not, we're just going to step 4 steps. Again, working on form over anything else. Heel comes up first. Let me do this sideways. Heel comes up first, off the ball of the foot. Step out on the ball of the foot. Drop the heel. Do the same with that trailer leg. Heel first, up and over. Pick that leg up. How high can you get it? Not how wide can you go. How wide you can go isn't really necessary. It's can you lift standing on a single leg, moving the leg out to the side, and then the other one coming up and in. So you're doing a weight shift here, whoosh, over to the side, having to control it, stopping, lifting that other leg, out and in. Here's where you can go if you would like. You can take and tap that toe, 4th step right there, just the tip of the toe. And back to the other way. Just get your balance. Whoa, push too hard. Up. I do that. Every once in a while, I get that little push off that's too hard. Then I stop doing it. I do it once. My brain figures it out not to do it again. And then if you can, bring that foot up. Up to you, whichever you do. Feel the hips working as we've gone side to side and continue to. Little bend in the knees. Ball of the foot, heel, up and back. Right there. Couple more. Up. And last one. We got it. Back of your chair, please. To the chair and not to the chair. Alternating. Bring the heels up. Balls of the feet on the floor. All the weight down in the balls of the feet, not into the toes. And bring that heel down nice and slow. Got a little bend in those knees. Not locked out backwards, which is really easy to do on this one. Keep a little bend. You want to feel the floor underneath the foot, underneath the ball of the foot, all the way across. So floor from the great toe to the little toe. Up. So you got those feet flat on the ground, or the ball of the foot flat on the floor. And back up. Instead of letting yourself roll out, which is what we have a tendency to do, which is really hard on the ankles. Also puts them in a bad position because you got one half of the ankle that's stretched out. You've got the other side that's tight. You want to get rid of that discrepancy. Make it strong all the way around and make it even all the way around. Up. And back down nice and slow. Take your time. Feel the muscles working in the back of the lower legs. Those calf muscles lifting that heel. And then back down one more time. Up. Hold it. And back down again. All right, going into that high knee. Up. Hold on to the chair. Get it as high as you can get it. I want you to work on heel first. Ball of the foot. Lift as high as you can. Working that hip flexor. Keeping the shoulder blades back. Don't let yourself lean forward. This is a really bad habit we get into. As you see people, as they get older, they're looking down at the floor, just dragging their feet along. You want those shoulder blades back. You want that posture, that perfect posture. Shoulder blades back, straight line from the back of the head all the way to the tailbone. Up and up. Keep that straight line as you bring the foot up. Don't let the knee go to the outside and foot stay in. Right straight up. Tuck and down, up, and we are there and back down. Feet apart. Tell you what, grab onto the back of the chair. We're going to go in a hip hinge. So we're going to just push that butt right straight out, keeping the knees right here over the ankles. Shoulder blades are going to stay back. Push the butt out, straight out, holding on, and then bring it back in, not letting the knees go forward. Really think about that. back up. So a great way to do this is hold on to the sink, put your feet or your legs right as close as you can get them to that counter or to that cabinet underneath, and go out, and the knees can't come in. Bring it back up. It forces you to use these muscles, hamstrings and glutes, as you come back up again, which is the muscles we want to use. Those are the muscles we're trying to strengthen up. Stretch out and bring it up, pushing down on the chair so that you don't roll forward chin to chest. So this really puts you into that perfect position for a hip hinge. Back down, take your time, butt out as far as it'll go. Knees are still over the ankles, and then up. One last time, down and back, and bring it back up. Again, holding onto the chair, we're going to do a side lunge, starting on one side. So grab onto the back of the chair, step out, same thing we just did. Shoulders right straight down to the floor, bending only one knee this time. The other knee stays right there at an angle, and you're going right straight down, shoulders toward the floor. This knee's not moving. That one is the one you're leaning into, and back. But it's just the butt going right straight back. So as you drop out, it's not going off to the side. It's going right straight back and up. Again, the knee is not moving. Stays above the ankle. Get that stretch. Feel the back leg of the leg working. Muscles stretching out. Inner thigh, down and up. Again, knees not going out. You're not going out over the side. Come right straight down toward the floor and bring it up. Other side, same thing. Really working on posture on these exercises. So down, pushing through the heel to the ball of the foot on that lead leg, and driving up, pushing the hips forward. Shoulders right straight down to the floor and back up. If you were bending both legs, shoulders would go right straight down and back up. You're doing the exact same thing except only bending one knee. So you can move over just a little bit as that leg comes down and up, but you're not leaning off to the side. Down and up. Two more. Take it down. Bring it up. Last one. Right there. A little deeper. Can you get a little deeper? Holding on to that chair a little bit. Just a tad. Just a tad again. Tad. That's how much your tad is. And bring it back up. All right. Skaters. Hold on to the chair if you need to. I want you to really concentrate on keeping the hips forward as you bring that foot around and back, going off to the other side. And in. If you don't need the chair, you don't need the chair. Back and up. Small moves to start out with. Around and back. So it's not about how wide out can you go. That knee's off or bailing out to one side. Hips are turned. Everything's out of alignment here. You have no balance here. So what you want to do is keep the hips forward over that single leg, base of support, stepping back, and then bringing it up and bringing it back to the middle, and then to the other side, the same thing, and up. If you want to work on this, hold on to the chair, and then come down, bending that back knee in the same direction as the toe. So you bring that foot around, and you're coming right straight down on that front leg, and the back leg is pointed out to the side, knee and toe in the same direction. Down. So this is a curtsy lunge as opposed to a skater. Skater was just bringing the hips around. This is bringing the hips around and then dropping, and then bring yourself back up again. Around and push up. Work is being done by the stationary leg. So right here, you're driving through that heel, picking that back leg up, bringing it around and setting it down. Around, push. Roll the hip underneath. It is still a hip hinge. Butt goes back. Leg goes around. Roll the hips. Push up through that single leg. One more time. Other side. Back. And up. I said one more time. I did it 2 more times. All right. Split squat. Stagger step. Stagger step. Foot forward. Foot back. We got the feet apart. Front foot, knees over the ankle. Between the ball of the foot and the heel is where all the weight is, not into the toes. On the back foot, you're on the ball of the foot, and all of the hinging comes off those knuckles, not going into the toes. coming right straight down, keeping the knee over the ankle on that front leg. So I was too far forward. I had the legs too close together. That knee had to go forward. It had nowhere else to go. So I need to step back just a little bit, drop down. Here's the key. Roll the hip underneath, lift the heel as you tighten up the muscles in the back chain from the glutes down to the upper part of the thigh, the back of the thigh, up. You're also going to feel this in the calf muscles as you bring that heel up, squeezing all those muscles up the back chain from the heel to the butt. Roll it, squeeze it. So we're working hard on the glutes and those hamstring muscles in the back of the thigh. Up. Those are the muscles we use to help lift the leg as we walk, keeping it from dragging on the ground. Keep yourself upright. Keep the knee over the toe or over the ankle on the front leg. So what you don't want is for it to go forward as you come up. It's not pushing yourself forward and back. It's rolling the hip and going right straight up. One more time. You're holding onto that chair to help you keep the torso up. So if you don't, foot back. We have this tendency to, if you were to let go of the chair, to just kind of roll forward and come up. So get hand on the chair, which pushes the shoulder blades back. And you can come down a little deeper because you've got the chair to help you to come back up. And you can really focus on these muscles on the back side doing all the work. Down, and that back leg, up, and down. These are so important. These are our mobility, stability muscles. Outside of the hip, going into the glutes and down into the hamstrings. Those stabilize those hips so that they're not wobbling back and forth, giving you a lot more balance, taking a lot of stress off the joints if they're moving back and forth. Down. They'll only go so much. As soon as you start moving them back and forth, you're starting to wear that joint down. Up. So you want to really control that. Take it down, roll the hips, bring it up one more time. Down, roll, and up. Back to the high knee. We're going to do it again. Get those really working these hip flexors to lift the leg up. Keeping that alignment there, working the muscles all the way down the leg to make sure that everything's pointed right out in front of you. Up. Knee as high as it'll go. Squeeze. Hold for a count. And back down. So what's really important here is getting that leg up as high as you can so that when you walk, you are still picking that leg up. It's not going to come up here as you're walking, but it's also not going to be dragging along the ground. Up. We've got the foot and the legs aren't moving up at all. Up. Squeeze it. 10 seconds. Squeeze those muscles in the lower half of the abs from the belly button down to the hips. Roll that hip forward just a little bit. Squeezing. 3, 2, last one. Up. And back down again. Hold on to your chair. Hold on to your chair. Shoulder blades are back. We're just going to lift that leg behind us. That's it. Hold it. Shoulders are back. Chest is out. Chin is up. Body's in natural position. You're not leaning forward. Get those shoulder blades back and drop the leg. So you've got a little bend in the knee, lifting that entire leg up. You're going to feel this again. Hamstrings and glutes in the butt and in the back of the thigh. Up. Stationary leg, ball the foot to the heel. You can feel the floor underneath it. Full surface contact. And you got the knee bent just a little bit. Lift up. Squeeze those muscles in the back chain. You don't have to come up very high. So there's no bending at the knee. You're just lifting that leg up behind you and bringing it down. Foot in. Other side. Same thing. Up. These are the warm-up exercises. And back down. Squeeze it. And drop. Up. Hold. And back down. 2 more. Squeeze it. And bring it back. Last one. And drop down. So there's a whole lot of strength exercise in that as well as just warming the muscles up, warming the joints up. Grab a drink of water. You are going to need your band now. We're going to go to seated. So there was a hole another set of standing exercises. But we don't have the time. I'm telling you, there's just never enough time to get everything in that we want to. All right. So welcome to the seated part of the show. For the first couple, you're not going to need the band. You can just kind of set it down for right now. Got it? Right there? Right there? Shoulder blades are back. Find your neutral position before we start. Bring yourself out to the edge of the chair. So this is all going to be seated. We're going to find our neutral. We're always going to stay in this neutral position. If you can, that glute fold right between the butt and the upper thigh, right there is where you want the edge of the chair to be. If you're totally uncomfortable with that, move back a little bit, but don't take yourself all the way against the back of the chair. You're missing so many muscles when you do that. Chair is doing so much more work than you're doing. So try to get yourself out to the edge right here. First thing we're going to do from right here is just extend one leg out. With the shoulder blades back, I've got the right leg out. Grab onto the seat of the chair, lift the leg just a little bit, and put it back down again. We're back into those hip flexors, but now we're really using the quadriceps at the same time. So that knee doesn't move. These muscles lock in. The top of the thigh lock in, holding that lower leg right where it is. Up and back down. Up and back. I really recommend, if you're ever in a position where somebody's telling you to lift both legs up at the same time, it's not a good idea. It's really hard on the lower back. The strength that is required in the lower abs to do that, I don't even like doing that. It's just, I always end up hurting my back if I'm not careful. That's why I hold onto the chair. Shoulder blades are back. Chest is out, one leg at a time. That's hard enough. Just bringing it up and back down. You've got that other leg as a brace leg to hold you from twisting side to side, up or leaning, and back down, up, down, bring that leg in, go to the other side, same thing. Left leg out, hold on to the bottom of the chair, get yourself out there. Use the bottom of the chair to really get those shoulder blades back. So as you pull up, you're also rolling the shoulder blades back, chest is out. You feel the shoulder blades go down toward the hips when you do that. That's so crucial to keeping your posture. Left leg this time up and back down. First one's little harder on the first ones. Once you get those muscles warmed up a little bit, just a little bit, it doesn't take much. It starts to get a little easier. But to start out with, you don't come up very high and back down. Just holding it up there, you should feel those muscles working in the very front of the hip. Up, shoulder blades back, chest is out. Because this is so much easier, but that's not what we're looking for because we're not hitting the muscles we need to hit. Up and back down. Focus. Focus on the top of that thigh to the right in front of the hip. And back down one more time. Up. Hold. And back down again. Going back to the other leg, doing the same thing. Extend that right leg out. Shoulder blades are back. This time when you get to the top, slide it out to the side. Feel the muscles working. Glutes outside, those abductor muscles that pull the leg out. And then inner thigh brings you back to the middle and drop it down. Really hold on to the back of the chair on this one. Up, out, in, and down. You can't get out very wide. Toe is right straight up. So here's the cheat. Toe out to the side. You can go all the way out. Roll the hips. Hips stay right where they are. No movement through the sits bones. Foot out to the side. Toes right straight up. You're going to feel this. You have to feel this right in the hip. In and back down. Again, we're strengthening those hip muscles, those medial glutes on the side to stabilize the hips when we walk. Out. In and down. These are big muscle groups. We really need to keep them strong. Out. We need to work the fine motor muscles too, but those big muscle groups should be doing all the work. And when they start not working the way they're supposed to, then other muscles take over, ones that aren't supposed to. So you always want strong muscles all the way through in a balance so that the muscles that are supposed to do the work for a specific move are the ones doing it. Up, out, in, and down. One more time. Out to the side. Bring it in and down. Other leg, same thing. So little by little, my shoulders started to come forward. Not a lot, but I always want to get myself back in the neutral. Holding onto the bottom of the chair, keeping the shoulder blades back. Lift the leg. Out to the side. In and down. Again, don't let yourself lean forward. Don't roll the shoulders, chin to chest. Keep that toe pointed right straight up toward the ceiling. In and back down. This is your brace leg, that stationary leg, to keep you from twisting at all. Out, in, and down. If this is absolutely impossible for you, you can't get that leg up, scooch back in the chair a tad. Remember a tad? It's that much. And then go out, in, and drop it down. You want to try to work it out to the edge, just fraction of an inch at a time even, so you can get stronger through those lower abs to lift that leg out on the outside of the hip, those abductor muscles to pull it out, in and down. Quadricep, keeping that bend in the knee. Muscles between the shoulder blades, holding the shoulders back so the chest is out, so you're in neutral. In and down. One more time. Up, out, in, and down. Okay, let's get serious about this now. Grab your band. Obliques. Obliques are rotational muscles. Grab on to the band. Lower hand is going to be in, palm down, fingers on the band. We're going to bring that down, squeeze. So as you bring it, coming down at a V at a diagonal, shoulder blades are back because we're going to rotate the spine so we can't lean forward. Down, roll that elbow back, shoulder blade, and then come back to center again. The farther back you can go without chin to chest. So as you start to go back, natural feeling is going to be for that chin to come down to chest because you're putting all your weight back here. You feel like you're going to fall backward. So you bring the weight forward as well. But we want to keep that spine straight. Don't go any farther back than you can keep that back straight. Arm down, rotate the spine, bring that shoulder blade around, and back up again. So if you're on the floor, this would be a Russian twist. Down and up. Exhale as you come around and bring it up. We're looking for that exhale so that we can tighten up those core muscles and back. Remember, tightening up the core muscles pushes the air out of the lungs. Pushing the air out of the lungs is the cue that you're doing the right thing with the core. It's not doing anything to help you. You just know that you've got those core muscles as tight as you can get them because you're driving that diaphragm up. And back up one more time. Make sure the shoulder blades are still back. Rotating that shoulder around. And you're there. Other side, same thing. So you should be feeling that right on the outside of the torso. Hips to ribs. Ribs. All right, other side. You ready? Feet on the floor. Shoulder blades are back. Chest is out. See if you can get just a little bit of lean backwards. And bring it around. Feel that shoulder blade pulling at the last part of this. And back up. Shoulder blades bringing that around. Obliques are giving you a rotation to the torso. And back up. Down, squeeze. And bring it back up again. Exhale. Tighten up those core muscles. What I try to get away from is I hear all the time belly button to spine, and that's really not quite right because you can suck that stomach in and not hit those core muscles right. It's all the work it takes to get the air out of the lungs comes from pushing the diaphragm up, which comes from contracting the core muscles. And back up. Two more. Squeeze it. And back. Last one. Around. And back up. Feel that? Feel that? All right, band around the feet. Around the balls of the feet or middle of the foot, whatever. So before we start this, we're going to make sure that we have the shoulder blades back. We're out to the edge of the chair. Hold on to the bottom or the back of the chair if you need to maintain your neutral posture. And you get a little hyperextended here. You'll get those shoulder blades back. You can take them back just a little bit more as long as we're not rotating. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is just out to the side. Step and bring it back in. Don't go far with this. What you're concentrating on is that the hips don't move at all. This leg, the stationary leg, the knee doesn't come down. It stays pointed right straight forward, using all those muscles through the leg to hold it in place, using the other leg up, muscles on the outside of the hip, those glutes to pull out and down, up and in. Make sure that you're not letting that foot stay in as you kind of pull with the leg out. You want that leg in alignment, knee toe out to the side, down, holding this knee straight, up, and back in. If you get to that point where you can't go any farther and you're using that knee to help pull out, you've gone too far. You're putting a whole lot of stress on the lower back. You don't want that. Shoulders back, up, out, in, and down. If you need to keep your hand on there to hold that leg in place, use it. You're still going to feel those muscles working all the way up and down, both sides of the thighs. Lift, out, tap, in, take your time. Going to go to the other side. Other thing you don't want to have happen. The band is on the front half of the foot. That's going to want to pull that toe in. You want to keep that foot straight out front, in alignment all the way up to the hip as you step out and back in again. So this heel doesn't pop out at all. Everything. Feet are parallel. Opposite leg straight, in and down. Again, don't let the knee fall out. That's a lot of stress. As you come down, all the stress is going on the inside of that knee because it's folding. You don't want it to fold out. You want to strengthen these muscles up all around the knee to hold it in place so that you don't have that strain on the knee. So many people have knee problems, and usually their feet aren't in alignment when that happens. Out, up, in, out. So I used to work with a lot of people, and the one thing I found is if they had proper alignment all the way through the hip and that, they didn't have joint problems. Up and in. Up. If they had a natural gait that kept them right straight forward, everything pointed, and there were a lot of people who had that, they were good. They could do a lot of the lower body exercises without any pain. Some in their late 80s. Up and out. Up and in. Two more. And back in, last one. Up, out, in, and down. All right, now we're going to work the ankles, which is just rolling the toes out. Heels stay plastered to the floor. That's where your pivot point is. And then toes come in, fighting that band. That band is going to put all sorts of pressure to draw those toes in as quickly as possible. Don't let it. You're going out. As you come back in, stop. When you have alignment, again, the band's going to want to pull them in. We're not looking for that. We want them to stop. You are in control of those fine motor muscles, the ones that put the foot exactly where you want it to be. If the big muscles are the only things that work, that's going to pull it right in because those fine motor muscles aren't controlling where that foot ends up. And that's what keeps you aligned. Out. And back in. You should feel this on the outside of the ankles, outside of the foot, and outside of the lower legs. Out. And in one more time. Take it out. And bring it in. Hang on to the bottom of your chair. We're going to go for a ride. Whoa, whoa. No. All right. Foot up, in a march, and back down, alternating. Get your feet as wide apart as you need to feel tension as you lift that leg. Most important thing, don't let the band pull the leg in. That's crimping the inside of that knee. When you turn it out like that, you're stretching the muscles on the outside, you're shortening the muscles on the inside, and that joint is rubbing right there on the outside instead of being equally distributed, the weight equally distributed all the way across that joint. So it's up and back down, other side, up. Squeeze it. You want to feel this in the front of the hip. It's those hip flexors again. We've used them before. We're going to use them again. Up. Use them every time you walk to lift the leg. Keeping that foot out is really hard. As you lift that leg, that band starts to get tighter and tighter. It wants to pull that foot in. You need to keep it out there. And if you can't, bring the feet in just a little closer. You still want to feel the muscles working on the outside of the hip, keeping that leg out. But you don't want to have to actually fight it because you just can't hold it in place. And down, up. Knee toe, alignment all the time. This is one of these, all of these exercises are ones where we're strengthening all the muscles in the leg, not just the ones up on top as we lift that leg, all the muscles through the ankles, lower leg, thighs, up, and back down, up. Shoulder blades stay back. Make sure you're still pointed forward, up, and down. Last one, and back down. Bring the band up, around the ankles. All right. These are fun. These are fun exercises we're going to do here. Shoulder blades back, grab onto the back of the chair. Get your butt out as far as you can on the edge of the chair. Don't go too far because there's no seat there, and then you go on the ground. So don't go that far out. Leave the butt on the chair. All right. One leg at a time. Right leg first. Extend at the knee and bring it back in. You saw that. Here's the thing you got to watch for. Is this, the foot coming across. That band's pulling that whole lower leg over. You really need to work these muscles to keep the foot in alignment with the hip, with the knee, and back in. Grab onto the back of that chair so you don't hurt the lower back. It really is going to want to pull you down, chest, chin to chest, and back in. So you're not going out very far. Just enough to feel these muscles working in the thigh and back down. Hip flexor as well. Hold on, out, and back in. I'm moving 6 inches and my leg's just shaking. Out, and back in. Can't get that leg up if you can't feel it. Bring the feet in a little closer together, and then go out and back in. You don't need to extend the leg out very far. It just needs to go out enough that you can feel the muscles working from the knee all the way up to the hip. And back down, out. Outside of the leg, you're going to feel the outside of that thigh and the glute muscle out on the side, doing all that work to keep that leg straight. These are the kind of things where you want to strengthen your hips, or you're told you need to strengthen your knees. These are great exercises for that. That's where the band comes in really handy, because I'm going to the other leg, because you're strengthening all those muscles up to maintain that neutral position, that alignment. And in, set it down, pick it up, extend at the knee, hold for a count, in, and back down. A couple more. Up, out, in, and down. Extend, contract. 2 more. Peace, man. Out, in, and down. Last one. In, and down. I feel that. Remember when we were kids and did that? Peace, man. When we were younger, I should say. Not kids, but younger. What are we doing next? All right. So we're going to take the foot up. Last time we went out to the side, toe pointed forward. This time you're going to bring that leg around at a diagonal. So hang on to the chair again. Up, around the side, knee toe in alignment, in and back. So what happened is I went too far. I started to turn my hips off to that side. I could feel the sits bones rotate. Not what I want. Shoulder blades back, leg up, knee and toe in alignment. Roll that to the outside. Stop. Back up and in slowly. Stop when you get to that point where you don't feel any tension in the leg. Up, out, set it down, back up, Beep, beep, beep. Back up and down. Up, out. Hips are starting to turn again. That opposite leg also, remember, knee toe. Always make sure that stance leg is in alignment. Out. That's how you work those muscles to keep it straight. And in one more time. Up, out. Set the foot down, relax for a second. Pick it back up and bring it in. To the other side, we go, Batman. Up, out, in, and down. So I'm not feeling a lot of tension, so I need to get this other leg out just a little bit more to give me more tension between the legs on the band. Up, out, in, and down. Again, it feels like you're doing more if you rotate the hips or that knee goes out first. It seems like, oh, look at how much farther I'm going. You're not hitting the muscles you need to. All these muscles have to work on the outside of that leg. Out, in, and down. Pick it up, roll it to the outside. Set the foot down if you need to. Keep that distance and bring it up and in. So give those muscles a break. Up, we go to the outside. We put the foot down just for a second. And then we lift it up, making sure that we're bringing it right straight up and in. Up, out, heel, up, and in. Bands are gone. We're done. We have a couple minutes left to stretch out. Legs need it. So you should feel this outside of the legs, all the way up, inner thighs, and then through the hips, going into the glutes on the sides. So across the front, down the legs, and then the outside of the legs all the way down to the ankles. We worked a lot of those muscles that give us our alignment. Left leg extended, right ankle on top of the left leg. Grab onto the back of the chair, slide. Slide that ankle up as high as it goes. It doesn't matter. All you're looking to do is stretch these muscles on the outside of the hip, these piriformis muscles. Keeping the shoulder blades back. You probably aren't going to be able to come very high up with that knee, and that's fine, wherever it is. So we're taking a lot of stress off the lower back by stretching these muscles out. If they're tight, it causes us to strain that lower back, pulling on one side. And down, other side, same thing. Right leg extended, knees bent just a little bit. Left ankle on the right shin, shoulder blades are back. Bring it up. Right there, for as hard as we work the muscles on the outside of the hips, that's all the farther I can get, just below the knee with the leg extended. So I know we really work those muscles because they're super contracted right now. And back down. It's just a cue that we hit the right muscles. We got the muscles that we were trying to get. All right, feet apart, hands on the thighs. We're going to go into a push-up. Back is straight, coming right down the middle. I'm going to walk the feet out a little more so I get a little better inner thigh stretch. So we work the inner thighs quite a bit. I want to make sure those knees stay out over the ankles as we come down between, and then pushing through the palm of the hand to bring you up, keeping the back straight. Neutral position, use the hands for the whole thing. Grab onto the back of the chair, roll the shoulder blades back. Deep breath in and exhale, hands on the thighs, roll the shoulder blades forward. Like that we go. And shake that out. Feet, ankles crossed. Like that, crisscross. Hands on the thighs, we're just going to come down. Lay on top of the thighs. Stretch those outer thighs out. Outer hips, outer thighs. Hands on the thighs, bring it up. Other side. Switch. Whichever one was up front before is now in back. And come down on top of the feet, or on top of the thighs. Let yourself just roll here. Deep breath. Hands on the thighs, push yourself back up. And relax the legs. We're going to go down. Laying on top of the thighs, bring the arms up, bring the shoulder blades back. Big old wingspan right here. Throw the shoulder blades back as you come up. Roll them back. Deep breath in through the nose. So we're going to do the opposite. Push the stomach out as you do. Roll those shoulder blades back even more, and then exhale. You're going to feel the lungs open up. You're going to get way more air in there. You may get dizzy. That's okay. You're seated. We're good. One more time. Up, shoulder blades back, chest out. And bring it back down again. Exhaling. We are good. What a fun workout that was. I will see you next class. Thank you very much for being here. I always appreciate it.